Okay, what is the treasure? And what exactly is this treasure? It is simply our authentic self, our true passions, interests, and talents expressed. It is our actions upon these talents. The Holy Grail is how we uniquely express the divinity within each of us. It is developing our potential to the maximum we possibly can. Our greatest treasure is the way we grow and express our authentic selves in the world. It might sound simple, but actually it's the hardest treasure in the world to find. The Grail becomes that which is attained and realized by people who have lived their own lives. The Grail becomes symbolic of an authentic life that has lived in terms of its own volition, in terms of its own impulse system, the power of myth. Style break. Your silhouette is everything. When wearing a dress, create a flattering, feminine figure with a belt defining your waist and a smooth, loose drape around the hips. For me to be a saint means to be myself. Therefore, the problem of sanctity and salvation is in fact the problem of finding out who I am and of discovering my true self. Silence joy. If I never become what I am meant to be, but always remain what I am not, I shall spend eternity contradicting myself by being at once something and nothing, a life that wants to live and is dead, a death that wants to be dead and cannot quite achieve its own death because it still has to exist. Silence joy. I must be myself. I cannot break myself any longer for you or you. If you can love me for what I am, we shall be the happier. If you cannot, I will still seek to deserve that you should. Spiritual Emerson. Style break. Even under a jacket or coat, a belt can help create a beautiful silhouette and calls attention to the narrowest part. Every one of us has a deep desire to realize something in our lifetime. Whether or not you are aware of it, deep in your heart, there is something you've always wanted to accomplish. Art of living. Most of us can easily answer questions like, how many kids do you have? Where do you live? What do you do? But what if someone asks you these questions? Are you happy? Who are you really? How do you want to be remembered? What is your dream? What is the purpose of your life? What is your passion? What do you really want? What do you really want to do? Would you have answers to these questions? Have you ever thought about them? Style break. Don't be top-heavy. When wearing a bold hat or a bold shoe, balance the look with an equally striking belt or necklace. Unless you go on a journey within yourself, a journey of deep self-reflection, it will be very difficult to answer these kinds of questions. But aren't these the questions you want answers to? When you're on your deathbed, won't knowing these answers bring you peace? Won't knowing that you lived life authentically and that you fulfilled your purpose and realized your full potential bring you the greatest sense of contentment when it's time to go? Or will you be thinking about the places you visited, movies you watched, meals you ate, and what you bought? It is very significant that Jesus should call your consciousness the secret place. He desires, as always, to impress with us the truth that it is the inner that causes the outer, and not the outer that brings about the condition of the inner. Neither does one outer thing ever cause another outer thing. Cause and effect are from the within to the without. Sermon on the Mount. We must know exactly what it is that we wish and get the perfect mental picture of it. Creative mind and success. See just what you want and get a clear mental picture of it as you wish it to look when you get it. That clear mental picture you must have continually in mind. Science of Getting Rich. To express means to press outward or to bring into sight that which already exists implicitly. Every feature of your life is really a manifestation or expression of something in your soul. Sermon on the Mount. Style break. Keep your favorites handy. Collect a group of versatile accessories, then add in just one or two matching pieces to your look to keep things easy and quick. You must form a clear and definite mental picture of what you want. You cannot transmit an idea unless you have it yourself. You must have it before you can give it. Many people have only a vague and misty concept of the things they want to do, to have, or become. It is not enough that you should have a general desire for wealth to do good with. Everybody has that desire. It is not enough that you should have a wish to travel, see things, live more, etc. Everybody has those desires also. You must know what you want and be definite. Science of getting rich. Choices. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Sayings of the Buddha. Style break. Some easy pieces to keep handy in both gold and silver tones are: number 1, cuff bracelets. Number 2, hoop earrings. Number 3, chain necklaces. Number 4, black and brown belts. As we study the Sermon on the Mount, we shall find every clause in it reiterating the great truth that outside things are but the expression, expressed or pressed out, or outpicturing of our inner thoughts and beliefs, that we have dominion or power over our thoughts to think as we will, and thus, indirectly, we make or mar our lives by the way in which we do think. Sermon on the Mount. Style break. Key items to match. After you have chosen your clothes, the key accessories to match are hat, belt, and shoes. Choose colors carefully here. Jewelry is more versatile unless you are wearing a statement piece. You can always add a gold chain and hoops. Who are your real friends? Ask your treasure. Maybe you're thinking that your family or friends will bring you joy and contentment. You are lucky if your relationships are currently a source of contentment in your life. Many people struggle to have loving relationships with the people closest to them. Many people have conflicts at work and with family and friends. The beauty of spirituality is that the relationships that aid our growth become even stronger and more meaningful when we have found our treasure. Those that hold us back will naturally fall out of our lives. When we can be ourselves, then we can let others do the same, without judgment. A happy person doesn't judge others. When we find our treasure, then our relationships are built on a foundation of true respect and unconditional love. As long as we put on our own facade, and also don't accept others for who they truly are, we will never connect with the world around us in a real way. Bottom line, the sooner you find your treasure, the more connected you'll feel in those important relationships in your life. Style break. In this look, the hat and the belt match in color and create a powerful visual. Limit matching pieces to 2 or 3, otherwise it looks like overkill. Other items can always be metallic. Dependence on the Creator within is really freedom from all other dependencies. Paradoxically, it is also the only route to real intimacy with other human beings. Freed from our constant demands for more and more reassurance, our fellows are able to love us back without feeling so burdened. The Artist's Way. And finding your treasure will also help you distinguish between the relationships that support your adventure and those that hold you back. More about this in later chapters, but the point is that self-awareness and healthy, loving relationships go hand in hand. We have to find our contentment and joy within ourselves first, before we can have the beautiful, loving relationships we want in the world. The most important relationship is with our authentic selves, and that is what this adventure is about. Style break. Contrast. Unless you are wearing a monochromatic look, plan at least one area of contrast in your look, like this white shirt. In order to have self-expression, we must first have a self to express. The process of identifying this self inevitably involves loss as well as gain. We arrive at clarity, and clarity creates change. The artist's way. If you wish to change conditions, you must change yourself. Your inmost thoughts will find expression just as certainly as the plant springs from seed. Charles Haanel Master Key System. You will be what you will to be, as a man thinketh. Connection is the key word in your adventure. Connecting with yourself, with the world around you, with the people around you, and with the entire universe. That is the point of the treasure you are seeking. But it must be an authentic connection. And in this world that is so full of distraction, competition, and judgment, authenticity is a very, very difficult thing to find. Style break. A contrasting flower pin. The outfit itself is fairly low in contrast, but the pin adds a point of interest. How do you drown out the noise and find your treasure? How do you find your own unique path to your own authentic treasure when the world is trying to lead you astray at every turn? That is what this book is about. The places you will visit will help you find your treasure. Every stop is critical. In just reading these words, you have already taken a first few steps toward it. Are you 90 and sitting in a nursing home? Well, get going. It doesn't matter how lost you are. It doesn't matter if you have strayed very far from your path. You can still find it. You have plenty of time, and it's waiting there for you always. As long as you are breathing and thinking, your treasure is waiting for you to discover it. He sees his freedom and is free. Sayings of the Buddha. Style break. Shawls. More than just for warmth, a shawl is a great accessory for adding print, color, and contrast to your look. The achievement of the hero is one that he is ready for, and it's really a manifestation of his character. It's amusing the way in which the landscape and the conditions of the environment match the readiness of the hero. The adventure that he's ready for is the one that he gets. Power of myth. Ask no one for permission to take this journey. Not your spouse, parent, child, friend, or colleagues. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about the adventure. Their opinions are irrelevant. The only thing that matters is whether you want to find your treasure. More than likely, people around you will want you to stay the same course because it is the one they are comfortable with. Perhaps they are not ready to look for their own treasure, but you are not seeking the comfort zone. You are on an adventure that will take you out of your comfort zone into a very exciting new world inside yourself. This is a journey of change and growth. Style break. A shawl is also a great way to add a pin or brooch to an outfit and not ruin your clothes. True, at times you will feel tired. Sometimes you will have doubts. At some point, you might be scared by the changes, but you'll know that going back to the old life is not the answer. Something inside you will tell you to keep going on your treasure hunt, even when it feels like the whole world may be laughing at you. A voice inside will tell you to ignore them and keep going, and you'll listen to it. Because your treasure is calling you louder and louder. You'll feel exhilarated by the new possibilities, by the limits you overcome, by the satisfaction of pushing yourself to take risks and actually feeling like you are maximizing your potential for the first time in your life. Your real priorities will become clear, and you will use them to direct the course of your life instead of letting life lead you. Style break. The jeans myth. Many of us think that jeans can be worn with anything. The important thing is to treat them like blue pants. First, you need to match the saturation to the rest of the outfit. For example, dull blue jeans with other dull colors. Second, put blue in another place in the outfit for balance. One talent explored will lead to another, and one interest pursued will lead to another, until you are so far on your journey that your old life feels a million miles away, a distant memory, and you are a totally different person. Doesn't this sound fun? it is. Only life avails, not the having lived. Power ceases in the instant of repose. It resides in the moment of transition from a past to a new state, in the shooting of the gulf, in the darting to an aim. This is the one fact that the world hates, that the soul becomes. Self-reliance. I have said that mythology is an interior roadmap of experience drawn by people who have traveled it. The power of myth. So many voices are trying to enter our head, the voices of friends, partners, parents, and teachers. And then there are the voices of social media, celebrities, marketing agencies, and corporations. Your own voice is drowned out. What does the word success even mean? The fact is that your own voice is the only one that truly knows who you are, what you really want to do, and what your real purpose in life is. It takes a lot of effort and, most importantly, discipline to tune out all the other voices so that you can hear your own voice loud and clear. But that's when the magic happens, and that is what this book will help you do. The voices which we hear in solitude grow faint and inaudible as we enter into the world. Society everywhere is in conspiracy against the manhood of every one of its members. The virtue in most request is conformity. Self-reliance is its aversion. It loves not realities and creators, but names and customs. Ralph Waldo Emerson, Self-Reliance. Style break. Saturation. How can you mix high and low saturation colors? The key is to use high saturation accessories with low saturation clothing. Keep the colors monochromatic for a more harmonious look. The individual has to find the aspect of myth that has to do with the conduct of his life, opening the world to a dimension of mystery, seeing that mystery as manifest through all things. Power of myth. Be open to redefining what a successful life means to you. Make it less about what others think and more about what really matters to you. You will create a new system of measurement. This calls for a recalibration of what life means to you or what success means to you. Every belief you've ever had will be challenged and questioned until you are left with only what is real. What the world values is money, reputation, long life, achievement. What it counts as joy is health and comfort of the body, good food, fine clothes, beautiful things to look at, pleasant music to listen to. If people find that they are deprived of these things, they go into a panic or fall into despair. They are so concerned for their life that their anxiety makes life unbearable, even when they have the things they think they want. Their very concern for enjoyment makes them unhappy. Thomas Merton, Silence Joy. What if instead of valuing money, beauty, and power, we valued things like authenticity, originality, persistence, focus, creativity, expression, integrity, generosity, good character, and self-acceptance? The truth is that we do value these things, but only if the person is rich, beautiful, and famous first. We don't value the journey, we value the result, and this is backwards from what spirituality teaches. Discipline is what is required most for this journey, but like a muscle, it can be strengthened with exercise. When we falter, there is no judgment because there is no judge. Spirituality gives you the courage to move forward and illuminates the path to your treasure. It tells you where you might have taken a wrong turn. Our discipline is what allows us to get back on track when we falter, and to stay on track as much as possible. Style break. Saturation. In this look, the clothing is low saturation, dull green and dull yellow. I paired it with bright, highly saturated accessories in the colors of green and yellow. Only the hat is dull, but it might have been better if it was brightly colored as well. The man of discipline has joy, delight, and light within. The Bhagavad Gita. The populace thinks that your rejection of popular standards is a rejection of all standard. Spiritual Emerson. You may have everything that the world values, but is it enough? Are you satisfied? Or do you fear losing it? For example, do you fear losing your beauty and therefore your value? Girls as young as teenagers already begin to fear aging and losing the only thing they believe gives them value. Is there anything more we can do and be than just a pretty face? It all goes back again to what success and happiness mean to you. These are the questions you will face on your journey, and the stops you will make will help you answer them. Style break. Wearing printed scarves. Printed scarves often look better in a more open and loosely draped fashion than tied and bunched up at the neck vertically, especially if the scarf does not lay flat. Thank you for listening to part 2 of Tired of Being Bored by Sabina Sood. For more information, please visit www.shayabrims.com or follow us on Instagram @shayabrims.